nervous after the fierce exchange we had in the boardroom. Rebecca volunteered to be project manager of the women's team, even though she had broken her ankle the week before. I guess she wanted to prove to me how tough she was, and that she could lead her team effectively in spite of her handicap. I was impressed with her willingness to take the risk. But unfortunately for her, the gamble did not pay off, and her team lost. In the boardroom, all hell broke loose. Everybody on Rebecca's team was trying to stay alive by shifting the blame onto someone else. Many of her team members blamed Toril Mehta's poor performance for the team's loss. Rebecca, however, steadfastly stood behind Toril, because Toril had helped her with her ankle, and she admired Toril for having graduated from my alma mater, the Wharton School of Finance. Rebecca knew her teammates were right, but instead of sending Toril with her to the boardroom, where Toril would most certainly be fired, Rebecca sent her back to the suite. I personally suggested that she take Toril to the boardroom with her, but Rebecca wouldn't budge. By sticking with Toril, she showed a great amount of loyalty. It turned out to be a really smart move. I wanted to fire Rebecca, but I didn't do it, because there are very few qualities I value more than loyalty. I was impressed by her steadfastness, and I was moved by her dedication. Rebecca is now doing a great job for CNBC. The most important thing to have in an office is team spirit, where each worker is committed to one another's success and to the success of the whole company. A group of solo players just out for their own glory doesn't work. Some of my best people have been with me for decades. I reward people highly for their loyalty to me and to the entire Trump organization. We are all working together to become more successful. My best employees have shown over the years that they will always be dedicated to what we're trying to accomplish. I reward them for that. I think the reason we have so many loyal people is that we reward loyalty. And everybody knows this. It's become part of the corporate culture of the Trump organization. People like Alan Weisselberg and Matt Calamari are great and have proven themselves over many years. Not every company is like this. A lot of companies demand loyalty from employees, but do not reciprocate. That's a sure way to lose good, talented people. The senior managers of the Trump organization show as much loyalty to our employees as they show us, which is part of why we're so successful at keeping good people. Everyone deserves a second chance. Recently, Miss USA, Tara Conner, broke pageant rules by using drugs and alcohol in excess publicly in New York City. I don't tolerate or condone that kind of out-of-control behavior in someone representing Miss USA. I do believe in giving second chances. I set up a meeting with her, and I had every intention of stripping her of her title. After talking to her, I realized the right thing to do in her case was to pardon her and give her a second chance. As you may know, this decision caused a media frenzy. The media was very stirred up and demanded an explanation. I explained that Tara had made some bad decisions while she was on her own for the first time in New York City. She got too involved in the party scene and could not establish her own boundaries. Now she knows better. She is basically a good person who made a mistake. She is willing to learn from her mistake and to not let it happen again. Because of her willingness to change, I decided it was better to give her a second chance than to destroy her career and ruin her chances in life. I believe giving Tara another chance was the right thing to do, for many reasons. She worked hard to get that title. She made a mistake, but was determined not to do it again and to get the help she needed. She finished her reign and continues to support the goals of Miss USA completely. Everyone in the Trump organization knows that I forgave Tara, and they think it's great, and it has solidified their allegiance to me. In return, I enjoy the freedom to make an occasional mistake myself. because I have not set myself up to be perfect. It's important to set this precedent. Everyone makes mistakes, all of us. Do not jump down the throat of every employee who makes a mistake. If you punish every mistake severely, you set a standard that is hard to achieve. Many people will play it too safe in order to not make mistakes. Mistakes will decrease, but so will productivity and ingenuity. If you want extraordinary results, you have to give people enough space to maneuver. You have to learn from mistakes, and you have to forgive and forget sometimes. There are many times when it is not a good idea to forgive. I cannot and will not forgive people who have stolen, cooked the books, or engaged in fraud. I never forgive someone who makes bad decisions time and time again. One characteristic I try to cultivate in employees is a concern for the organization as a whole. I reward employees who work wholeheartedly to bring more success to the Trump Organization, as if the company's success were their own success. I respect employees who act quickly and can think on their feet. Time is often of the essence, and I value staff members who are ready with answers and solutions. I also like employees who save the company money. Companies suffer when employees do not make enough of an effort to control costs. Finally, although some amount of personal ambition is necessary, too much could undermine the common goal of the company. The company has to come first in every employee's eyes. I always forgive honest mistakes and give good people second chances. Nobody always gets it right on the first try. Learn to forgive. Set high standards for yourself and everyone else. Expect the best from people. Very often they will rise to the challenge, and it's important to instill in them confidence to go along with the challenge. Give people the opportunity to excel. Without that opportunity, how will they shine? Also, do not limit their abilities according to their positions or titles. I have found many talented people who have potential that far exceeds their job title. When I hired Matthew Calamari as a security guard more than 20 years ago, it became clear to me that he had a lot more to offer than his job title warranted. He went on to become an executive vice president and is now the chief operating officer of Trump Properties. He's been a dedicated and trustworthy worker, and had he not been given challenges or responsibilities, this side of him would not have been apparent. People should not be underestimated. Give them a chance. Be the catalyst for their success. That way, everyone wins. Remember, you are not living in an ideal world. People are not perfect, and some of them are outright vicious and hell-bent on doing you in. Use your gut to hire the best people you can find, but do not trust them. Create a work environment where you reward good people for doing good work and for being loyal to you and your company. Be demanding of people, and they will rise to the occasion. Do not be too hard when they make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Always be willing to give someone who wants to do better a second chance. Zanker's take. You can only do so much yourself. You need other people to help you accomplish really big things in life. Hiring the best people can mean the difference between success and failure in business. Donald is right. You have to be on your guard to make sure that you avoid the worst in people and bring out the best. Here are some tips for managing people that have worked extremely well for me. Sometimes tip before, not after. My pal John Goodfriend taught me, tip the bartender generously when you have your first drink at a bar, not when you leave. I follow that rule both in my personal life and at work. My family once vacationed with another family at an all-inclusive family resort in Jamaica. Both families had young kids, and we were thrilled that all-inclusive included a nanny assigned to each family all day, every day. I generously tipped our nanny as soon as we arrived, and she took great care of our kids and was enthusiastic and fun. The other family went the traditional route. They tipped their nanny when they were checking out. Their nanny spent the week going through the motions. She was no fun at all. It didn't matter that they were generous in the end. It was too late for their generosity to have any impact. When I decided that the Learning Annex was going to launch a series of wealth expos, and I knew that my team was going to have to give 10,000% over the next year, I held an all-weekend staff meeting at the beautiful Doral Hotel in Westchester, New York. And the first thing I did to start the meeting was give out envelopes with $10,000 bonuses to everyone who was there. I told my team, "This is just a taste of the riches about to come your way." We held the most productive weekend planning meeting in Learning Annex history. Staff who were away from their families called home and told their husbands and wives about their bonuses. So instead of spouses complaining and my staff feeling guilty, the spouses were telling my staff, "Work hard this weekend. I'll hold down the home front." For some of the people in the room, $10,000 was 25% of their salary. No one had expected it, and it changed the team's outlook. Now, whenever the team goes away for a weekend retreat, everyone expects an envelope, and I never disappoint, since they deserve it. Make learning fun. After our first expo, even though we made money, I insisted that the team meet and figure out how to make the next expo even better. One of the things we realized was that the weekend was too serious. People spent the whole weekend learning, but one of the hallmarks of the Learning Annex had always been that learning should be fun. How could we make it fun? Someone joked, "Hire ambassadors of fun." I heard that and said, "That's a great idea." For the next